to the 2021 Game Changer Programme launch. We've got actually probably over 70 people are going to be on the call today. Some of our partners, our coaches, our old members, our new members. So without further ado, I will be kicking off today by handing over to one of our amazing Programmes Committee friends, ambassadors, and awesome humans, Rebecca Dean, to do our Bambuddha group Welcome to Country. If we can just unmute Rebecca.
Thank you. Good morning, everyone. My name's Rebecca Dean and I'm a proud Dharawal woman. And I join you today from Dharawal country where I live with my family. The thing I like to do most is to see what country everyone else is on. So before I begin, let's acknowledge the countries that we're all on because we're digital. So I hope to see some shout outs from my home country. That would be lovely for me. I'm hoping there's some Illawarra, Campbelltown people on the line. But I just want to acknowledge my elders, past and present, and the work that my ancestors have done to bring us together today. I call out the healing that's currently happening across all countries, and that brings me such joy and excitement. And I'm so pleased to be part of this family and see everyone grow in kindness and acknowledge the traditional owners and the First Nations people. So thank you, Anna, and thank you, everyone. And I'm starting to see the countries come through, and knowing that is the first step to reconciliation. So thank you very much, everyone. I appreciate it.
Thank you so much, Beck, and I really appreciate that. So welcome everybody. For all those that are new, I might just pin myself. I might have unpinned somebody else. Maybe you can pin me, Tom. Welcome, my name's Anna Shepherd. I'm the founder and I'm the CEO of Bambuddha Group, which is a social enterprise based in Sydney, but operating nationally with a focus on trying to create kinder businesses and kinder leaders. And I want to tell you a little bit about that in a moment. But before I do, many of you have heard my story many times, but I did want to give you a little bit of background around who I am and why I'm here and why we are working really hard to achieve what we're achieving today. If we can ask everybody to go on to mute for this moment, that would be really great. So that's me at the back with a really dodgy haircut, which I thought was a really good idea at the time. I've pretty much got the same haircut, especially since COVID. I'm also turning into a little bit of a silver fox. And these are my sisters here, Sharon on the left, Donna on the right, and Rachel in the middle. Sharon has got cerebral palsy, Donna's got Marfan syndrome, and Rachel's got learning disabilities. And we actually grew up in quite a unique upbringing in caravans on the northeast coast of England, which you can tell by my very strong accent. So if you don't understand, please let me know. I'm happy to repeat myself and speak a little bit slowly. So it was a challenging upbringing in a lot of senses. We were quite excluded from the community in which we grew up in. To top it off, I was neurodiverse and gay and fitting into all of the systems in life, or not so much. And really started working quite passionately in a lot of different charities with a real clear focus on how do we reduce the inequality in this world and how do we stop the otherness from continuing to happen. So I ended up, unfortunately, getting kicked out of school because I wasn't very academic and what a bit of a trouble causer because I was constantly asking the questions why. And my life and the success of my life has been really down to the kindness sometimes of absolute strangers, people that have given me the opportunities, people that have given me an alternative way to work and an alternative way to show up. So, you know, my why is very much about trying to create a different kind of future for businesses and for leaders and an alternative way of going around things, because let's face it, the way things have gone so far haven't necessarily worked. So that's my why. And if you are interested in my bigger story, I am doing a keynote next Tuesday, which you're welcome to attend, and I can take you on a little bit of the ebbs and flows. So for years, I worked in strategic fundraising and marketing, and really ended up in a situation where I was helping all of these businesses develop their social responsibility, but I felt like there was something missing, and that was a place for leaders to actually grow to become a different kind of leader, a leader that wasn't embarrassed to be empathetic or show up authentically, or be able to start working on different systems that would serve everybody in this world. So that's a little bit of my backstory, and I'm really excited today to say that we've come so far in the last 4 years because of a massive amount of collaborators that have donated time, expertise, resource, inspiration, or just a friendly ear, and sometimes shoulder to cry on for us to get here. But we're here because there's a lot of people that believe in this movement of kindness and believe in the business benefits of kindness, which I'm going to speak to a little more in a moment. So a big wholesome welcome to everybody. If you've got a haircut like me, which pretty much all of us do these days because we can't get to the haircuts, you're welcome. Everybody is welcome in Bambuddha Group, and that's the key point. Okay, so what we're going to cover today is we're going to give you a little bit of an overview of the program and the outline and the process for the year. I'm going to talk you through the Bambuddha Group theory of change. You're going to meet a few members of our team, what planned events we've got for you in the pipeline, and then we'll give you the opportunity to meet some coaches and hopefully, when the rooms start working, each other. But before I begin, I just want to talk to you a little bit about what Bambuddha's theory of change is and our vision. And really our big audacious goal is that we believe in a future where every leader is committed to creating a sustainable world of equality and opportunity for everybody. So everything we do, every move we make, every step we take is about reducing inequality. So when it comes to the big audacious goals in the world and the sustainable development goals, reduced inequalities, number 10 is the one that we lean into the most. So I want to give you some stats and some facts and some proof around why we need kinder leaders. And the first one I want to show you is a little bit of a summary of the State of Global Workplace report that they did with Gallup. So have a sit back, relax, and tune in.
The world experienced a pandemic in 2020. We did not all experience it the same way. Last year, Gallup asked workers in every region of the world about key issues affecting their lives. The insights from these questions developed our newest iteration of the State of the Global Workplace report. Here are some of our discoveries. Globally, employee engagement is dismally low. The majority of full-time workers in the world are either watching the clock or actively opposing their employer. This disengagement creates a drag on productivity, innovation, and organizational change. The workforce reported higher stress, worry, anger, and sadness than the previous year. Negative emotions increased more for women than men, and more for workers under 40 than those over 40. Given the hospitalizations as well as lockdowns, closed schools, increased remote work, and unemployment, these numbers are not surprising. They represent the frustrations and struggles of millions of workers across the planet. As employers rethink and restart their workplaces, there is still hope for the future. Most urgently, leaders must take action on the importance of overall employee well-being and engagement for workforce resilience, from physical health to loneliness, financial hardship to community support. All these factors influence the enthusiasm and productivity of workers. Successful corporations of the future will not only generate profits, but will also generate thriving employees who are capable of weathering crises.
So that's just an example of the state of the workplace, which 20% of people actively engage. That's crazy. That means 80% of people are literally not even bothered, not bothered. And, that's good because in some senses it's increased. The last report was like 17%. So we're getting there, but very slowly. So why are people so disengaged in the workplace? And, you know, the reality of it is the disconnect between the human-centric approach in business and how businesses operate is often far, far between. And this is where we need to work to ensure that people are treated like humans and are treated in a way which is kind. And that's why we want to empower a whole future of leaders that do see the benefits of being a different kind of leader and the coaches who can help them get there. But why is this actually important for business? Now, the reality of it is the landscape is shifting. Just last year, a year and a half ago, all of the biggest CEOs around the world of the Business Roundtable came together to redefine the definition of the purpose of a corporation, which wasn't just to be of benefit to the shareholders, which it's already historically been, but to be of benefit to customers, employees, suppliers, communities, and everybody in between. And they haven't just all woke up one day like, you know, Scrooge after he'd seen all the ghosts. It was, you know, this is good for business, and they've done the research. Consumer habits are shifting, employee engagement is shifting. People want more from businesses and expect more, and certainly from leadership. And 81% of business executives said purpose-driven firms actually deliver higher quality products and services. So when it comes to purpose, what we're talking about leaders that know who they are, what they stand for, and then apply that to their sphere of influence, including the businesses in which they work within. And if anybody out there is sitting, and we always show a little bit of storytelling, a little bit of facts, but the proof is in the pudding, as we say in Yorkshire. You know, the businesses that are more purposeful are 42% up compared to those that are 42% down. And this is the triple bottom line we're speaking about. So the business case is there, but where does system change start? Well, every system change that's ever occurred started with an inspired leader who took action. And what we want to do is inspire you as leaders to take action, whether that's for your own leadership style, with your own teams, with your own businesses, or with the community in which you operate within. So Bambuddha, why are we called Bambuddha? Well, Bam is about working hard. Buddha is about working kind. Too much Bam and the lid falls off. Too much Buddha, you can't get anything done. Sustainability, having that balance, isn't just important for individual leaders, but it's important for businesses as well into the future. Bambuddha is also the name of a local cafe bar where I used to live at 20 years old when I was young. And after a traumatic childhood, it was the first time in life when I lived in Ibiza, we call it Ibiza, where I actually felt a little bit of balance and for the first time believed everything might be all right. And that's why it's such an important name for me. And the cultivation of love and kindness is a Buddhist principle. We're not a religious organization, but it's about how we can bring that in to our leadership style. So our theory of change, okay, are you ready? Is about empowering diverse leaders. Through our programs, we equip business owners and leaders with the skills, coaching, and opportunity to accelerate their potential into senior leadership and onto boards. So why are we doing that? Because we've recognized that one of the biggest barriers to sustainable change is a lack of diversity in senior leadership and on boards. And we know that by empowering the game-changing leaders, which is you, with the tools, resources, coaching you need, you will start changing the game by de facto in a multitude of ways. So that's what we're committed to. That's why these programs exist. And there's a big, big game at play here, which we hope starts with you. Last year, we did this program and it was on a smaller scale. We gave $75,000 worth of scholarships away. We had all sorts of inspirational speakers speaking. We did fundraising for COVID response. And we also managed to get access to 300 coaching hours, which were donated by our amazing coaches, which we'll introduce you to soon. But this year, drum on the table, $250,000 in scholarships is what we're giving away. And every single person that's here today, whether you're a scholarship recipient or not, doesn't need to tell anyone. This is the point of Bambuddha Group. We want everyone to show up on the same playing field. So the way our business model works is we have paid members and they are essentially helping us pay it forward. And we've also got corporate partners, sponsors and clients that enable us to be able to cover the overhead so we can deliver on these programs. So that's really, I'm really chuffed with this. And it means that, you know, we are starting to make a really awesome impact. So we aren't doing it alone. There's lots of people on the journey with us, and these are just some of our impact partners for this year. Different organisations, which mean we can reach some of the people who meet our underrepresented criteria. And we're really, really thankful. We've got many of a representative of these organisations here today. And just to say thank you very much for the trust and support and collaboration as we're all working on those same goals together. So without further ado, I'm going to introduce you to some of the team, and I'm really, really grateful to be here today. I will be coming back at the end to do a little wrap up and a summary, but I will hand you over to our lovely programs coordinator, Jason Wong.
Hello, everybody. I think I'm unmuted. So clearly I'm a big fan of headshots which make you take a double take to make sure that the person appearing on the screen is actually the person also talking via Zoom. So how are you going? That's the best pick I've got at the moment, and clearly the best one I've had for about the last 10 years. So maybe let me tell you a little bit about myself and how I got to Bambuddha to be the programs coordinator. So like many of the coaches that you're all about to meet, I threw my hat in the ring last year to become one of the kindest leadership coaches. So I run my own strategic technology transformation, leadership coaching and mentoring consultancy. I sort of had been exposed to Anna and Bambuddha through a Woman Who Changed the World conference that I attended with my 13-year-old daughter at the time. Thought it was pretty amazing, got on the mailing list, and went down the Bambuddha rabbit hole. So the first 6 months obviously were fantastic, and then started having a bit more conversations with Anna about potentially getting more involved. Became a member of the programs committee, which I'll also mention in a sec, and then now obviously doing the programs coordinator role. So what does that involve? Well, you can see the bullet points there. It's big focus on the coaches. So most of the coaches would know me pretty well, probably a little bit sick of all the emails that I send them and hassling them to join Slack and so forth. But the other thing that I do also is work quite closely with Tom, the community manager, on the scholarships. So we've got through the stage of onboarding all our coaches, we're finalising most of the assignments, introducing the coaches to the coachees. So hopefully most of you have met your coach or one of your coach at the moment, but also play a role in planning of events like this, and hopefully ones that we might be able to have face-to-face pretty soon. Yeah, but I guess the main role, like anything in Bambuddha, is, you know, I'm here to send out good vibes, and, you know, it's a really good community and tribe to be part of. So the screen up there at the moment is the programs committee. So the programs committee has oversight over all the programs that Bambuddha conducts. Probably at the moment there's quite a lot of significance on the coaching and I guess the guiding principles around what we want the kindness coaches to be. I think you may have worked out already that we have quite a lot of coaches from lots of different backgrounds, lots of different experience levels, and lots of different styles. So what we've tried to do as a programs committee, leveraging off the good work that was done last year, is provide some guiding principles to all our coaches, one of which I'll explain in a second. So we've got a pretty crack team on this committee. You can sort of see there, Georgia, Simon, Jeremy, Rebecca, and Tom, as our community manager, makes a guest appearance every now and then, because we really need that insight into what's happening with the Game Changer members and advisory board members, that coachee perspective. So yeah, some of us are online. I think most of us are online today. So hopefully you can see them soon as well. So timeline, okay, so obviously we're way past the registration phase, and we're into steps 2, 3, and 4 really, and maybe even 5. I think most of the coaching assignments have kicked off. If you haven't got a coach yet, or coaches, if you haven't got a coach yet, that's imminent, because we have new coachees and members joining up all the time. But we've definitely hit the ground running, and a lot of stuff is happening outside of these sort of Zoom sessions already. In addition to that, we've obviously got monthly masterclasses which are happening. They are primarily targeted, or they were initially offered primarily for the coachees, but they're also available for the coaches to attend as well. And they're definitely really part of the consolidation of the stuff that you're receiving via your coaching, and a lot more food for thought. And towards the end of the yearly program, we have some review processes just to reflect back on what worked, what didn't work, and what potentially needs to be done next, and what can be done better next time. So yeah, we'll be introducing the coaches in a minute. So this was taken at I think it was at our coach induction session a couple of weeks ago, and hopefully you can work out there that the coaches are all the awesome coaches there. They're not playing Incy Wincy Spider. They're doing a beautiful heart. I must admit, my heart looks more like a spider. So yeah, no, they're fantastic individuals. I've really enjoyed meeting them over the last few weeks and starting to work with them. You can sort of see the people with the Bambuddha backgrounds, like my one. Most of those are coaches. So if I could get maybe all the coaches to wave, or wave your hands around, or whatever you'd like to do. So thank you very much for everything you guys do. So just a quick recap of a member journey, which you may have seen already. Obviously, we start at the bottom of the yellow steps there. And how you all may have been made aware of Bambuddha in the first place. We're currently in that purple bar in the sort of middle step, not too far from the top, where you joined up as a member, you are getting the coaching, being able to go to the workshops and be part of this great community. All the stuff underneath that, still have obviously access to, and hopefully if there's anything in there which you think you may have missed out on previously, be in contact with Tom or myself, and we can help you out with that. Next steps obviously are that there's after this year of the Game Changer program, there are pathways there for to deepen your engagement with Bambuddha, but also your effectiveness as a kind leader in the real world out there. So the ultimate aim is to smash that glass ceiling with overwhelming it with kindness, and with the tools of maybe getting some coach training yourself, helping Bambuddha with delivery of our corporate programs as an impact partner or via impact partners, and ultimately getting ready to be a member of a board, influencing the world altogether. So last thing from me really is just for the coachees, just to give you a bit of an indication of the guiding principles that all the coaches will be using in their coaching sessions. So as I mentioned, coaches have different styles and have different experiences, and will respond accordingly to whatever you need, during your sessions. But loosely speaking, we have this thing called BAM, which help differentiate the leadership coaching that we do at Bambuddha from leadership coaching which you might find through other channels. So the B stands for beginner's mind. So the beginner's mind says that as coaches, we conduct each coaching assignment without assumptions. We're curious. We allow our coachees to occupy most of the coaching space rather than us imposing our values and beliefs. So be assured, coachees, that the coaches that you'll get will come with that open mind and be really curious to find out what's going on in your world and how they might be able to help you through that journey. The A stands for awareness to action. So the awareness to action is ultimately, as Anna said earlier, about getting stuff done. There's a range of sessions that you'll have with your coaches, and they'll work with you to make sure that if there are actions that need to be followed up, they'll help you set some goals and follow them through. It's ultimately in line with Bambuddha's theory of change, that we're really just trying to reduce inequalities in the world, supercharge kindness in our own spheres of influence, and ultimately contribute to the big audacious goal of just spreading this globally. And finally, the M. The M stands for meaningful living. So we understand as coachees that you're all pretty amazing individuals who have big hearts and you want to make a real big difference in the world. So what this probably almost definitely means is that you are working on multiple big projects concurrently and you sometimes feel overwhelmed. So what the Bambuddha coaches will help you do is remain grounded and focused on what is deeply important to you, by encouraging you to reflect on your personal values, your sense making of the world, and ultimately your purpose and how this aligns to the greater good. So that's BAM in a nutshell. I hope that gives you a bit of an insight. You know, if some of you are a little bit curious about, well, what is it? Well, I've had coaches before, but what does it mean to have a kindness coach? And I think that's enough theory for the day. I think we're going to have another crack at Zoom fun session.
It's looking a little bit more promising now. If we make it appealing enough for Jacinda, maybe one day she'll come.
I think we should have her as a guest down at Bambuddha group.
Yeah, well, I've been writing to her to the point where she's probably going to get reinforcement out. So I'm just going to lay off for a bit. So, okay, thank you so much, everybody. I'm just going to take you back off, move this, bear with me a second, so we can get back into the zone, so to speak. So let me just go back. We've ended up going on a magical mystery tour. Here we go. So now we're going to talk and hand over to Carmel Malloy. Would you like to share your screen, Carmel, or would you like, what would you like?
Sure, I'll share my screen. Thanks, Anna.
No worries.
Okay, can everyone see that? We talk about dreaming big. I think, you know, Jacinda for a dinner party has got us on that journey. I'm quite hungry talking about all the food, though. What a cultural mix we obviously had in these groups with some of the dinner party ideas was fantastic. So I just want to talk to you really briefly. We've just got literally less than 10 minutes just to give you a little overview of the goal tracker and where that comes into the picture in the Bambuddha program. So dreaming big, setting goals and taking action. And I love the little rose between the thorns there, because if you don't do the goal bit, you can't get the action happening. And you can dream big all you like, but if we don't get those goals in place to the actions to actually happen, once again, how do we bring them to fruition? So a great way to start by talking about something inspirational like that dinner party. I just wanted to mention also the Gay Margal people of the Eora Nation, and thanks Rachel for that lovely welcome at the beginning of our session today. And I'm on Sydney's Northern Beaches and very lucky to be where I am at the moment, clearly with the lockdown and where it is. We had at Northern Beaches over Christmas time as well, so we're in our third lockdown, and I feel forever grateful that I do have water and outdoors and bush near me, and the fact that you can actually leave a desk and not feel guilty. Just recently I had one of those days where it wasn't a Groundhog Day. I'd actually started a Groundhog Week and I didn't realize it, and I made myself just put everything away and go out and just go walking in the bush and look at the water, and the difference it made to my mental health was amazing. So that's a picture of me in my local area. That's my little Millie Malloy, who's a great mascot for the Nonprofit Alliance, and I've made a pact to put her in every presentation now because we've just found out she's not going to be with us for too much longer after 16 years. So that's my little meals. And the reason that NPA and Bambuddha are linked together in partnership is because of our purpose and values alignment. The Nonprofit Alliance is all around building leadership capability in the not-for-profit sector or for-purpose sector. And the link between Bambuddha and Nonprofit Alliance is very, very strong, not just in terms of the programs we deliver on, but what we all stand for. There's nothing in our Nonprofit Alliance network that doesn't have purpose at its very core. And the people we work with at the Nonprofit Alliance, I'm the CEO and founder of NPA, and we work with the CEOs and leaders of not-for-profit organisations, and you can see there just some of our members. And the members meet on a monthly basis through advisory board programs and coaching programs, which is where the Goal Tracker tool was actually born from. And the reason we started the Goal Tracker tool back in 2015 was because we wanted those days to be more than getting together and talking about the challenges and opportunities we face. We wanted those days of interaction between our leaders to be around getting to know each other's business, setting goals and being accountable to them, so that we actually were able to dream big through to taking action. So we've all got a choice to make, and I think it's really interesting at the moment. If any of you haven't seen it, Atlassian and PwC just recently put out a new report, which was called Return on Action Report 2021, which I'm seeing a few people nodding. It's an incredible report to have a look at. So if you haven't, look it up, and I'm happy to share the link as well. But the choice between what's good for you and what's bad for you is becoming really apparent in terms of the workplace. And some of the things they were showing was that people will now change jobs or actually knock back a promotion to the tune of 69% of people would knock back a promotion in favour of their well-being and mental health. And it's the first time they've seen these kind of stats coming through so strongly. And they did this report 18 months apart, and the difference from 18 months ago to today was profound. And it was clearly showing that people weren't going to put up with businesses not having values. So the whole philosophy of Bambuddha and kindness and taking those right choices for the good of the world were actually coming through in how employees were reacting and engaging with their workplace. And we're also been discussing a lot at the moment that people are in the departure lounge without you even knowing it. The percentage of employees who are thinking about leaving their job all of a sudden and will be tempted or headhunted and actually think, why not? Whereas 12 months ago, they mightn't have had that same reaction. So what we're finding too with our leaders is there's a whole balance going on at the moment between what those goals and the change and the challenges they're facing and the blah, the languishing, the burnout, that joyless place that we're all sitting in during COVID and what's happening within our brain overload and the everyday challenges that we're facing. And of course, those scales are getting out of balance in the process. And we often ask this question, and I'd invite you to use the chat for me. If you had to be honest with yourself, do you prioritize your schedule or do you allow yourself to schedule your priorities? What does your day look like? If you had to say how I spend most of my day, is it your schedule and your to-do list that takes up most of your day? So just give me schedule or priorities. Schedule 100%, someone's just saying to me there. Schedule priorities, fantastic, that's good to hear. Most people saying schedule, coming through on the chat. Schedule priorities, good to hear, Chrysanta, I should say. Scheduling priorities, Mandy. That's great, excellent. Priorities. I've got to be honest, I find I want to schedule my priorities, but so many days you actually get up and your email and everything else takes over. So the day-to-day actually becomes the priority rather than the priorities that you actually should be speaking to and thinking of. So blocking out time across the week, Kathy, that's excellent. Most people don't put in their diaries what's important and put priority time in the diaries. They put all the other meetings and all the everyday business stuff. So introducing the goal tracker tool. Now, it's important to say here that coaching, you have many tools at your disposal, and you've got this incredible group of coaches and coachees who've all decided and made a choice to join this program. And you've chosen Bambuddha, you've chosen to invest in yourself, or you've chosen to invest in other people as a coach, and you've chosen to do it through the Bambuddha platform. And one of the things we've got to offer you is Goal Tracker. You might have your own tools as well, and we don't say this is the only tool you can use, but it's certainly a fantastic one, and it's proven in terms of its value over the years where we've been using it with the Non-Profit Alliance. So why set goals? There's so many reasons, and I won't dwell on this, but goal setting, it can give you something to be excited for. If you think about a sporting game, if you didn't have that touch line, or if you didn't have the goal posts, you could run around aimlessly all day and it might be a bit of fun, but after a while the game would get a bit pointless. So by having a goal and something you're aiming towards, it gives you a focus and somewhere to go. It gives you that point to come back to about why am I here? It also lets you say, what does success look like? How will I know I've been successful with my goals, and how will I know I've achieved them? And it allows you to actually lift morale. The other thing I find with goals, and I'll use this example, if you share them, you're more likely to succeed. So if you don't share a goal and you just keep it in your head versus tell someone else that you're going to do it. And every year I try and do Dry July for the last 4 years, right? So last year, I actually went to do Dry July, and it was the first time I didn't post it on Facebook. And I lasted till July 2nd. And I thought to myself, was this COVID because I couldn't cope and it was an easy enough sort of habit to fall back into to have the glass of wine in the evening? Or was it because I didn't make that commitment and let people know that I was doing Dry July? Whereas this year I thought, no, put it out on Facebook, and I lasted the whole 31 days. And I think that's just a simple example of the difference of sharing your goals versus keeping them to yourself. That's just not moving there. So what I'm just going to briefly, like 2 minutes, show you what's involved in Goal Tracker, but let you know that there's a whole instruction manual that's about to be shared with you. It sounds scary that it's 22 pages long, but it's just really simple. It's screen captures of how to use it so that anybody can pick that up and start using the program. So Goal Tracker's got 4 things on it. It's got confidence barometer because it's really important we know how you're feeling on a day-to-day basis. It talks about your greatest challenges because they can enable or be a barrier to success. It allows you to set goals, and it allows you to have coaching notes where you can commit to actions that you and your coach decide are important for you. There's a menu which has each of those little functions on it, as you can see there, the confidence barometer, greatest challenge, etc. Really easy to use on either your phone or your laptop, although I do advise the first time you use it, do it on your laptop because you'll be able to see everything a lot clearer. This base plate will allow you in every one of your coaching sessions, if you decide you want to use it, we enable your coach to see your platform. So the coach and you can actually share the goal tracking together on a regular basis in your meetings and between. So you'll be able to log on your confidence and greatest challenges. It'll show you how to do that. And it'll ask you on a scale of 1 to 10 how you're feeling every time you check in, and on your personal life, on your business life, and how you're feeling about the future. What are your levels of confidence? And it captures that over time, so you've got the record of how you're feeling. It also then allows you to set and measure goals, and it gives you the instructions on how to use the tool, but it also gives you some everyday examples and some everyday language around what it is to set goals and what that might look like for you. Someone's agreeing with me about putting out there about dry July. I'm glad I'm not the only one, Sharon. It's also got lots of important stuff in here. If anyone's concerned about data security, it'll tell you all about that in the instruction manual and how it's all part of the Microsoft Azure platform, and the administration and everything is bound by confidentiality agreements behind the scenes. You're also passworded, so it's only what you give us permission to share with your coach. Otherwise, everything's kept very private. Also troubleshooting if you ever have any problems. Also, we've got special areas which the coaches and the managers and chairs can use, which gives them a platform where their coaching clients can be featured, and you can just click on the client's name. So if Liam was your coaching client, coaches, you'll be able to call up Liam or call up Olivia or whoever your coaching clients are and see their dashboard if they agree to be on the program. And then also there's a little QR code. So if you're a coach or a coachee, you might get an email like this where the little QR code is just pasted into the email, and you just do a check-in. Go, hi, I've been thinking of you, wondering how you're doing. Let me know on your confidence barometer, or have you updated your goals, or are there any greatest challenges you wanted to tell me about? And the other person can just scan the QR code and let you know. So just as one final thing, I want you to just scan that for me, everybody. We're not going to go on the platform, but just to show you how easy it is to use, I want you to scan that logo, the QR code, I should say, on your phone. And when you scan it, you should see a little login screen coming up. Thanks, Maz. Glad to hear you think it's a great tool. Now, when you do that, sorry, that's my phone going off. I thought I'd turned it off. When you get there, you put in your first name space last name as a login. And then you use the password 12345. And you should see your profile come up. If you're a coach, you'll have 2 dashboards, either a coach or a member dashboard. If you're a coachee, you'll just have the dashboard immediately open in front of you. So as you can see, I'm going to stop sharing there. Hopefully you've been able to log on, but it gives you an idea of the fact that we've got you all set up. So all you need to do is let us know if you want to use the tool, have a look at the manual we send you, and then we'd love to hear if you'd love to use it. We'd certainly like to help you and make it a success for you to use. And the more people we have on it, the better. We just really would encourage you. It works brilliantly. All of my chairs use it with their CEOs of the charities that I mentioned earlier and their coaching clients. And we've been using it across the board for years. And then we developed this online version at the beginning of 2020, and it's working really well. So love to hear your feedback too, because what we've been doing is improving on it all the time where we can. We act on the feedback we hear and see what we can do to make it an even better tool.
Thank you. Oh.
I just saw somebody said there that their name is incorrect. It should be first name space last name. If there's been something wrong in the entry of your particular name and you can't log in, just let me know. Just write to carmel@nonprofitalliance.com.au and I'll check on it for you. But usually it's the space or something like that that's missing. But if there's anything incorrect, we'll sort it out for you and get you up and running. So please let me know. And yes, love to. Don't need caps or anything like that. It shouldn't matter. But hopefully we'll see you on the system soon, or not see you, but have you on the system soon and have you working with your coach if you're keen to be on the program.
Thank you so much, Carmel. And I just want to acknowledge that Carmel has donated this platform to the community to utilise and invested heavily in the back end to enable it to be tailored for us. So I just wanted to say thank you very much for all your support. And if you do have any questions, Tom is your go-to person and he can help you with that. But we will have an additional session so you can do a deeper dive with Carmel, which we'll put in the diary for any of the participants that want a bit more time to play around with it. So big love to you, Carmel. Thank you for your support. I am going to hand over to the wonderful Tom Gertley, who is our community manager. But before I do, I just wanted to acknowledge Tom, who's been with us over a year now, and he came in at a time when we were just building everything. Tom is an incredibly awesome human who single-handedly has worked through majority of the coachees and program participants to do success planning sessions. Anyone who's met Tom knows he's the most lovely person and really is here to ensure your journey is smooth. He's your go-to guy. He's kind of a bit impartial from the program, is there to make sure you're well looked after. Who's had a success planning session with Tom already? Give us a wave. Who thoroughly just enjoys Tom, or is it just me? Yeah, Tom is a total rock star, and now he's going to feel like dying because it's not his style, me doing this public service announcement about Tom. But I'm going to hand over to you, Tom, so you can take us through some of the awesome bells and whistles and add-ons that we've got.
Yeah, thank you, Anna. I am absolutely dying inside.
Welcome.
So, g'day to everybody from Bulla Naming on Gadigal land. It's lovely to see you all here, and it's so great to have you all in the same place, even though it's virtual. I've been chatting with so many of you and have met so many awesome new people over the past few weeks. It's been an absolute pleasure, and it's so much kind of awesome, diverse humans from a million different backgrounds and all with different superpowers. I've noticed everybody's got this, everyone has some sort of individual awesomeness that they're looking to put out into the world. And so today, have a think for the next few minutes. And in the chat, I'd like you to throw out one good thing that you're hoping to put out into the universe today based on your superpower. Today, tomorrow, this year, big or small. I know you've all got something awesome that you want to do, even if it's just something little like giving someone that you care about a hug. Doesn't matter, but throw it out there. So likely most of you have had a conversation with me at this point. I'm aware some of you haven't, and we haven't had a chance to connect. My role as the community manager, obviously, is just to kind of initially, obviously, have a chat with you, get to know you. I'm kind of the bookends of your experience with Bambuddha Group. And primarily, I'm here to really make sure that you can access everything that we offer as a member, and which I'll kind of go over and explain to you in greater detail over the next few minutes. Really, though, my job is just to be your mate from Bambuddha, or if that's not colloquial or familiar enough for you, I'll be your Bambuddha bro. The first kind of experience that you generally will have with me as a community manager is that we'll have a bit of a chat, and I'll say g'day and I'll explain what we're about if you don't know already, find out a little bit about you, and then we book in our success planning session. So this is kind of the session where we map out the year for you. We have a bit of a retrospective look at the last 12 months. And we also have a look at things like, that you're proud of, things that, have been big successes for you, things that might have been a little bit challenging for you, things that you want to kind of work around in terms of objectives. Have a look at some of the measurables in your life, things that you want to work towards around there, and really kind of simplify some often quite big and abstract concepts that you're looking to work towards, and just kind of get to know you a little bit and help you with your journey. Look at how we as a group can kind of assist you in doing the things that you're kind of really working towards and want to achieve over the course of the year. There's kind of, and then, conversely, at the end of the journey, which the majority of you won't have experienced yet, we've got the kind of end of year review and planning. This is, really just a bit, primarily a kind of retrospective look at the year once you've kind of completed your coaching. We'll have a look, have a bit of a wrap-up chat, see how you've been. We'll discuss your coaching journey. And the things that you work towards over the year, whether or not how the journey evolved, whether or not the things you work towards changed, whether your priorities changed. We'll also kind of have a bit of a chat about how your well-being tracked over the year, which is another great feature of the goal tracker, and you can kind of map out how you track on that front. And then, we'll also provide the opportunity for you to provide, we'll give you an opportunity to provide us with a little bit of feedback, because it's really important to us to make sure that we are delivering our programs in a kind and sensitive way, and also ensuring that you're getting the most out of it. And part of that is obviously finding ways in which we can improve upon it in the future. And then we'll kind of discuss your next steps. What does the future hold? What are the opportunities that we can provide to you for, future collaboration? How can we work together? What are your future plans? And also, it's important to kind of emphasize that, our friendship with you guys doesn't end when the programs do, in whatever way, shape or form. Once you've had an experience with us, it's going to be very difficult for you to avoid us, because we're friends for life. So remember that the friendship doesn't end when the programs do. In terms of your tools and resources, there's a few things that you may or may not be across that I'd love to be kind of chatting to you about today, and making sure you're aware of, because there's a number of things that I think sometimes, our very busy lives, we often don't take deeper dives into. But something that I am really, really stoked about is Bambuddha's resource library. On our website in the member zone, you can find all sorts of really interesting stuff. And it takes the form of primarily the umbrella term of the resource library. So we've got things like our leadership lab, the corporate kindness project, and the white paper. Heaps and heaps of podcasts, which Anna did over the course of the last 12 months with lots of really interesting personalities, as well as heaps of resources and articles on lots of different topics like leadership, well-being, inclusivity, and heaps more. Heaps of great content there, and it's really worth a look. The Facebook group as well is something that I really encourage you guys to get involved with. It sounds simple, but it's actually really good, and it's great to have, I guess, just a zone on Facebook where you guys are able to connect. And we really, really do encourage you guys to kind of cross-pollinate, throw some ideas out. We were born in the spirit of collaboration, and there's so many kind of awesome personalities involved with Bambuddha that it's a great opportunity to meet new people, throw what you're doing out into the world, throw some shameful self-promotion, shameless rather, self-promotion out there, talk about what you're doing, find out what other people are doing, because everybody's doing awesome stuff. So we do encourage you to chat and cross-pollinate there. Then we've also got the goal tracker. Carmel's obviously giving you a bit of a run through with this. It's an awesome platform, and I've been using it over the past 12 months, roughly. No, I've been using it since the beginning of the year. Can't recommend it enough. It's really helped me stay accountable to the things that I'm working towards. And I'm also here as additional support with that if you're having any kind of complications with it. There are a few members who are on the newer side who may not have an account yet. Basically, I've got to compile a little bit of information there, but everybody should be on there pretty imminently. And then we've also got masterclasses. And this is something that I'm really excited about this year. So with regards to optional learning opportunities, we're all pretty autodidactic in this community. Everybody's really motivated. Everybody's very knowledge driven, and it's really exciting. So COVID-19 and the pandemic has obviously been really fun, considering that we're a network and, and we're born, as I said, out of collaboration and the desire to kind of cross-pollinate and network and meet one another. And it's been a little bit difficult over the past 18 months. In spite of that, we definitely will be back as soon as we're able and allowed to go outside. We've got a lot of really fun stuff planned, and you'll be kept in the loop on that once they emerge. In the interim, however, in lieu of face-to-face events, we've created a heap of awesome learning opportunities hosted by us and some of our awesome friends and collaborators. You as members and also coaches get free tickets to these workshops. There's heaps and heaps of value within them. I really encourage you to go along if you've got the time. You should totally come. The people who are delivering them are awesome. And I'm just excited to be getting amongst it, to be honest. Some of the topics that we're covering in kindness and leadership, we're kicking off in October. That's Anna's big workshop, and it really goes over all the awesome areas of kindness in business. We're also going over things like brand purpose, building cultures of kindness, sustainability and leadership, leaders for reconciliation, Bondi Radio podcasting masterclass, which is going to be really cool as well as happiness in the workplace. So lots of awesome topics. There's one every month. We're going to be hosting them at Wesley Conference Centre in the city, who are an awesome venue, host and just awesome people. And where every masterclass is going to be followed by refreshments and a chance to actually meet in person, network, collaborate, hang out for a little bit, and a chance to connect with the community and just pump out some Bambuddha good vibes. All events are going to be hybrid as well for anyone not in Sydney, just so you're aware. So you can tune in digitally if you're feeling like you want to get amongst some of these masterclasses. We've also got lots of really good face-to-face celebrations, as I mentioned, in the pipeline. Get amongst the events section on the website. It's going to be really fun. We've got our, however you choose to view it, the kind of end of calendar year, halfway or mid-year financial year celebration, festive celebration, however you want to term it. We're all going to get together at Sydney Aquarium, have a couple of drinks, have something to eat, rub some shoulders, get to know each other a little bit better. And I look very much to seeing you there. That's kind of all from me, but I'm really looking forward to the next 12 months with you, next few months with all of you guys. Always feel free to hit me up. I am, as I said, your Bambuddha bro. So always here, always happy to help. Looking forward to chatting with you a little bit more. That'll take us into our next game opportunity. So thank you for your time, and I look forward to speaking to you all again soon.
Thank you so much, Tom. And I hope you can see there's tons of really good stuff there, which we'll speak about in a moment. But we really want everyone to be able to get together monthly and just have those, because honestly, we have such a good time when everyone hangs out, because you're all like-minded people. So we'll be making sure we do that on a regular. But before I kind of do the next little section, just wanted to put you into rooms again, just for a couple of minutes. And I want you to have a think about, if you could learn about one thing or one kind of area or topic or thought leadership that you think would really help you succeed over the next year, what would it be? So I'm going to spit you out into rooms again, if everyone's up for that. Have a little talk about what is it, if you could choose one thing as a group that you would want to learn and know more about, and what would it be? And we'll share when we come back. So I'm just going to make it so you've got just a few minutes in there. 5 minutes. Bear with me. I just want to do a final kind of roundup before we conclude today, just to let you know some very exciting news. Fresh off the press is I'm currently sitting in our all new Kind Business Centre, and in the inner west of Sydney, called the Working Kind Collective. And we've got dedicated desks, private offices, virtual office facilities, and we've also created a studio, which I'm going to tell you about in a moment. The good news is this space we've created so our community can actually amplify their voices. Where they want to work with us, they can come in and be part of the BAM fam here. And very excitingly, we are going to be opening the Bambuddha Group Impact Studios, powered by Bondi Radio, where we'll have a fully equipped media studio, podcast studio, and training room. So all of our members, all of our partners, and all of the people we work with, one of the things we recognized in the past is we were empowering all these leaders, but then what if they couldn't amplify their message? So that's where we've come up with the concept of the Impact Studio. only open to impact focused businesses, leaders needing to share and wanting to share their story. So if you do want to be able to come in there, we're also going to be able to offer full production services. So you can get your headshots done. You know, we want to make you the star of the show in the journey and the change that you want to create. So hit us up when you're interested. The doors will be open on the 1st of October, COVID pending. And we look forward to welcoming you to our shared space. All profit from the space will be going back into the programs. So it's a win-win. And we're all very excited about it at the moment. So in addition to this, if you are an empowered leader that's grappling with some challenges within your business or within one of the corporates you work for, we are also just about to launch our corporate kindness program suite, which one we've recognized in the past, leaders, you know, might become a corporate warrior. And there's a few of them in the room. Blaise Porter, Steph Norris, not just to mention a few, who are working really hard to change the systems that they're in. But we need subject matter experts and programs that can enable you to do that. So we're really, really happy to be able to work with all sorts of delivery partners. So if you do want more help with the specific task or challenge you're facing at the moment, we'll be really happy to support you on that journey. Just want to do a big shout out. We're only here today because we've got partners and sponsors and businesses that believe in the journey that we're on. My biggest shout out actually goes to Blooms the Chemist today, who have just been an amazing partner for us for the past year and a half. I think we've got a couple of Blooms in the room. We've got Annette. Give everyone a wave, Annette. Are you there? Yeah. And maybe Catherine and a few of us. So they've been supporting us, and we're working with them on some awesome corporate kindness projects, and that money does go into the programs. Australian Community Media, Cisco, we've probably got from the Cisco peeps in Fujitsu, thanks to Blaise Porter. So thank you for our financial sponsors, because without you, we actually wouldn't be able to put these programs on. There's a lot more than the finances. We've got venue partners, we've got PA partners, we've got so many different collaborators, and many of you are the ones that are making this happen. So thank you very much, especially as well to Wesley Conference Centre and Lendlease, who have been supporting us with the venues this year. And then we've all sorts of other in-kind partners that are doing bits and bobs for us, and thought leadership, donation of time and resource, and yeah, a little bit of love in your direction too. So before we finish, we always try to end on a bit of good vibes. And a few of you might have seen this video before. Each year, Google does a year in review. And this is the video from 2020. So sit back, relax, and enjoy the video. You hear it okay?
The most human trait is to want to know why. And in a year that tested everyone around the world, why was searched more than ever.
The spread of the coronavirus has passed a significant milestone.
And while we didn't find all the answers, we kept asking. Some questions inspired joy. Others, excitement.
Life in the bubble.
You love me?
Yes.
You love me?
Yes.
You love me?
Yes.
I don't know what an improper fraction is.
Keep all of those distractions out of the way.
We found toilet tissue, y'all.
Oh my God.
Put it on there and start it up for me.
What are y'all doing? It's still March. How many days in March?
Some questions made us cry.
You know, we've been through our ups and been through our downs. I think the most important part is that we all stayed together throughout. I love you guys.
Some made us worry about this spinning rock we call home.
Fires were detected in the Amazon rainforest.
Why were so many lives lost?
Almost 1.5 million people have now died of COVID-19 worldwide.
Why are we still asking the same questions?
George Floyd repeatedly told the officers that he could not breathe.
So why do we still have strength to continue?
I believe in your power. I believe in our power.
chants of Black Lives Matter echoed from thousands of protesters in cities around the world.
Why are we not defeated?
We have made too much progress, and we are not going back. We are going forward.
Planes are starting to arrive in Beirut, full of international aid.
Firefighters from around the world arriving in California. There are over 100 coronavirus vaccines in development worldwide.
This is one of those times when people look out for one another and have each other's backs.
We kept going for those who showed us the way.
Think about how you would like the world to be for your daughters and granddaughters.
Remember, the struggles along the way are only meant to shape you for your purpose. Press on with pride and press on with purpose.
Why is it that this year showed its worst and we still found ways to triumph?
An incredible feat for Maya Gabeira.
Naomi Osaka, U.S. Open Championship.
Can't let Corona stop you. Can't let quarantine stop you.
So until we get to every answer, we're still searching.
Sir, you are the game changers. The reason why we're here is because we're trying to make a change. And I hope you enjoy your journey with us at Bambuddha Group this year. We're going to have a good time. We're going to have some good learning. We're all on the journey together. And I'm really, really grateful that you're here, you're participating, and you're going to be the ambassadors for kindness over the next year. Drop any questions you've got through to our team. You'll see lots and lots of us. And I really look forward to you all getting to know each other. Thank you. Take care. And remember to be kind to yourself.